So I've seen a lot of designer bikinis with the picot edging, and it's what I like to call a decorative bikini. The picot may not hold up to heat, sun, and chlorine the way the rubber elastic will, but I just love that detailing for a lounge bikini. The fabric I'm using is swimwear fabric. It's a blend of lycra, polyester, and spandex. If you Google swimwear fabric, you'll find lots of shops online that carry it. The decorative picot is 3/8 inch and the rubber elastic is 1/4 inch. The swimmer patterns I'm using are both from Edgewater Avenue. I love their patterns. If you go online to their website, they have several free patterns, including this bikini top called the Dallas pattern. And then I'm using the kit bottoms, which are not a free pattern. The white floral swimwear is my main side. I got this on eBay. I love it. After I cut out the main piece, I put that right sides together against the blue fabric to cut out the lining piece. Cutting out the straps for the bikini, they're all cut at a width of 1 1/4 inch wide. For the bikini bottom, I have 4 straps 13 inches long, and for the bikini top, 2 straps 22 inches long and 1 for around the waist about 55 inches long. The decorative picot goes right sides together against the main fabric of the bikini, along both edges. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I sew the picot on with a zigzag stitch. I also leave a little picot at the end, like a tail. Sometimes it needs a little finessing to get the zigzag stitch started with the picot. Next, we'll take the lining fabric and put that right side together against the main fabric. The picot will be sandwiched in between the 2 layers. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we'll sew along the raw edge until 1/2 inch above the base of the bikini. This will be left open for the strap channel. I'll be serging the layers together, but you can use the zigzag stitch on your regular machine. After the sides are stitched, we'll sew the base of the bikini together at a 1/4 inch. This will leave the channel open along the side seams, also at a 1/4 inch. I'll be moving on to the bottoms before finishing the bikini top. I have white thread in my serger now, and I'll be swapping it for the blue when I do the straps. Always try to match your thread color with your swimwear fabric. When it stretches, it can show the stitching. Also, I'm using Gutermann's all-purpose thread for this project. You want to avoid cotton thread because it won't stretch. With the bottoms on the main white floral, we'll sew the gusset closed completely. With the lining, we'll leave at least 1.5 inch opening. This is where we'll pull the bikini to the right side at the end. Once the gusset is sewn together, we'll take the decorative picot and put that right sides together against the back waistline, both leg seams, and the front waistline, sewing the picot onto the main piece with a zigzag stitch. Same as with the bikini top, we'll put the liner fabric right side together against the main fabric and sew together at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I've swapped out the thread on my regular machine and my serger to blue thread. With the straps for the bikini, we'll put those right sides together against the length and sew at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I like using a basting stitch on my regular machine before I serge them together. This makes it easier for me sewing the straps together, but I do go back through and take the basting stitch out so the pieces can stretch properly. Next, we'll sew the rubber elastic over the stitched edge of the straps. I leave a little tail at the end to help get it started. I'm using a zigzag stitch, and my main tip would be to reduce your tension to 0 when stitching on the rubber elastic. The stitch doesn't require that much tension with the bulk of the rubber elastic, and after sewing this way, you'll notice your seams look a lot smoother. Once the rubber elastic is sewn onto the straps, we can pull those to the right side. I'm using a loop turner for all my straps. Put the loop turner up through one end of the strap. Pierce through the fabric and close the latch, and then you'll be able to start pulling the end through the tube. Now that the straps are done, we'll be able to finish off the bikini. Starting with the top, we'll slip the strap through the side channel up to the top of the bikini. I have a pair of forceps I keep in my sewing tools, and it's super handy for times like these. Repeating the process with the bikini bottom, we'll take the 4 straps and slip those through the opening we left in the gusset. The strap has that seam line on it, and I always try to face that part to the back or the bottom of the piece. Using a straight stitch, I go back and forth to make sure the stitch is secure. I've also changed my thread back to white here. After it's stitched down, I trim off the excess so there's less bulk when it's pulled through to the front. After all the straps are sewn on, we can pull the pieces to the right side. With the bikini top, we'll use the opening we left on the side for the channel to pull the piece through to the front. Same with the bikini bottoms, we'll pull those to the front using the straps through the opening in the gusset lining. Some finishing touches we have left to do is top stitch down the opening in the gusset lining, and we'll also top stitch the bikini channel for the waist tie. With the opening for the channel, I just make sure to tuck the edges to the inside so it looks clean from the outside. I'm using clips to help the layers stay together, and to finish the channel, I'm using a straight stitch and a seam allowance of about a 1/4 inch. To close the opening left in the gusset, I top stitch the layers together with the straight stitch. I have my white thread in to match the main swimwear fabric. I'm using a safety pin attached to one end of the tie to pull that through the bikini top channel. You can also use your loop turner if you have one to pull the tie through, but I found it was easier with the safety pin this time. And then, like you've already seen, I have the ties in the front for this bikini. That bow in the front is so cute. Our final bow detail is made with 1/4 inch white ribbon that I have cut out at 5 inches and wrapped into a basic bow shape. I make a loop on the left side and then a loop with the right side on top. I compare the two bows together to try and get them about the same size. After that, I'm going to tack them down into place with a button stitch on my sewing machine. I meet the two ends of the ribbon, right sides together, and cut them at an angle. I also use a lighter to finish off the ends of the ribbon so they don't fray on me. Since my rubber elastic doesn't match my swimwear fabric, it stands out on the ends here. Even when you knot it, you'll see that white elastic poking out. So I fold it over and tack it down with a button stitch on my sewing machine. After the end of the strap has been stitched down, I trim off the excess. You can leave it as is, but I'm going to knot the ends since I think it's cute. And then that way the ends look clean and you won't see any white elastic poking through. I repeat those steps for all the ties on the bikini and then it's all finished. This was quite a project for a little bikini, but I had a lot of fun sewing something new. So thank you guys for sewing along with me.